Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcast Radio. You're about to listen to an episode of Through the TechVine. So be quiet, pay attention, and get inspired. There is one truth that is not told enough. Technology is not magic, but it can be magical. Technology is human. It is part of who we are, our evolution, our future. Will it be a dystopian or utopian one? Well, that is up to us and nobody else. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net.
Happy 2222.
Wait, you're 200 years ahead of us. Is that right?
I know.
I see your math is working well again, Marco.
You're living in the future.
I have a reason. I want to be optimistic about 2022, but it may get longer than that. So I just jumped 200 years ahead.
Okay. All right.
And we'll talk about the technology from that time.
All right. And you know what technology we're going to have?
I think we can make some guesses.
Okay.
Is it one big monolith or a bunch of parts?
It'll be a monolith, like a big monolith that comes from space. We all find that, and it's going to resolve all the problems.
It's like a big heavy blanket laying on top of us.
Space Odyssey.
Yeah, or a big blinder so we don't see what's going on.
Don't knock those heavy blankets. Those are really very comforting.
I like the heavy blanket.
I do too. Do you have one of the ones that's got the beads in it, or is it just the heavy?
I don't have any, but
Okay.
I would someday I'll probably get one.
He's dreaming of it.
I see.
Like, he's all cold, like lighting matches at the corner of the street and dreaming of a heavy
I
blanket.
couldn't justify the expense of a proper heavy blanket, so I just grabbed a bunch of rocks and I threw them on top of my comfort blanket.
It's a Charlie Brown approach.
This is worse than Charlie Brown. Do you guys watch the Charlie Brown Christmas? Is that part of your tradition?
No.
Yeah.
Diane?
Charlie Brown Christmas, the Halloween, the Great Pumpkin one, where all he gets is rocks. Yeah, we do. Not every year. This year we were scrolling around, and one of the streaming channels indicated to us that a festive holiday traditional classic was Fantastic Mr. Fox, the Wes Anderson movie. So we're like, sure, we'll start a new tradition. I don't know what Fantastic Mr. Fox has to do with Christmas, but you know.
Well, there are certain movies that apparently they are Christmas tradition or holidays traditions, and I got nothing to do. I think Die Hard is one of those. I can't really think that as a holiday tradition, but some people apparently they watch that over the holiday.
It does take place at Christmas time because there's that big Christmas party that they're all having.
Okay, well, it's a little bit of a stretch. I think, but okay.
I concur. It is in fact a stretch, but but although Ed always contends that It's a Wonderful Life isn't a holiday movie because other than that it happens at Christmas, it's really not about Christmas.
True, I gotta give that too. Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what's a very festive series, Diana?
What? Yellow Jackets?
Yes. I went back after our last episode and
you watch it?
Our Through the TechVine end of year episode where Diana was mentioning that, and I have to say, got into it.
Oh,
yeah.
Mind you, the eating hasn't begun yet.
I'm not sure, other than the pilot eating, that we're going to see any additional eating in this, because apparently they only get to winter by the end of this one. But I think we're definitely seeing the unraveling that could lead to the eating.
I was going to say buon appetito, but
there you go.
I don't know. I don't know if we want to go there. Talking about that, there was a show that we actually ended up watching. It's our tradition now is to talk a little bit about TV or whatever when we start. So here you go. We got addicted to a School of Chocolate, which is kind of like one of those chef competition that it's all about chocolatiers. And there is this French artist. I believe he has a residency in some big restaurants in Las Vegas. And this guy makes masterpieces made of
Ooh.
all edible chocolate, from chandeliers to candles that you can light, and then the creams come out of it, and incredible sculptures like 4 feet tall, and unbelievable. So we got hooked to that. So I feel chocolate, it's kind of holiday-ish. So we ended up watching that.
It is. And when they make things like to hold candles, the chocolate doesn't melt?
No.
Okay.
They light it momentarily, and then there is that what they call the housing in pastry, where the cream just leaked out when you open the pastry, and so that is that effect of the candles kind of waxing down, and it was incredible. I mean, honestly, it was like looking at something should have been in a museum. Unbelievable. So yeah, if you want to catch that, I think it's on Netflix. Not paying for the advertisement, of course.
I wonder is there a name for art that is designed knowing that it will expire soon? Like, there's a whole bunch. Makeup is something that's very artistic, but it's like drag, right? But it's other than in a photo, it won't exist. It's not like a painting.
Okay, maybe.
Food.
I would call it ephemeral art, but I don't know if I just made that up or
I like that.
Actually, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
So it's made to disappear. You have to catch it in the moment or eat it in the moment.
Art that won't last. Yeah.
Get Smart has that. This message will self-destruct. this art will self-destruct after you enjoy it.
I saw that actually. You mentioned this. I remember there was an app that mostly kids were using that the message will disappear, but then it wasn't really disappearing because people, of course, can make a screenshot, and I believe that if it's on the internet, it's there somehow. But I noticed on Instagram that now you can have the vanishing post. I haven't really looked into that, but hey, that can be that ephemeral art we're talking about.
That's true. It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Although you're right with the internet, if people screen cap, because I think it's Instagram stories that go away, but sometimes people will screen cap and then narrate what was going on. So they create some level of. And was it Snapchat where people were just?
Yeah, Snapchat.
The Snapchat was the one you were thinking of. The other one,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, and I don't know why people do believe that they can actually take back stuff. There are many cases where posts that they're not meant to be, and maybe in the urge of the moment, and then people think it over. I'm like, I guess don't drink on social media. Would be a good idea.
Oh, what's funny though is that you're right. It seems like we can't, even as somebody who maybe overserved themselves on New Year's Eve and put up some post, they feel like it's going to haunt them the rest of their life. But then some things do disappear that you wouldn't expect. And speaking of movies, have you guys ever heard of the movie 200 Cigarettes?
200 cigarettes? No.
Yeah.
I heard of 16 candles, but not 200.
No, 200 cigarettes. It's Courtney Love and Paul Rudd are the main characters, and it's a bunch of people in New York. Christina Ricci comes in with her cousin from Long Island, meets Casey Affleck at a party. Kate Hudson's going on a bad blind date. Ben Affleck is in it as a bartender. It's got these stars. It only came out at the end of the 90s. But you can't stream it. And there are DVDs people are selling on eBay for like $100, $200 of this movie. And it's just flabbergasted me. How can this movie that's got all these stars, that is not even 25 years old, is unavailable? And then yet, as you were commenting, Marco, somebody did something on New Year's Eve that they'll never be able to erase from the internet.
Yeah. So this is, actually taken off the distribution completely for, was it the title? I'm gonna do a Google right now.
We can't find it, so we actually have the DVD, but we have no way to play DVDs anymore. But it was our New Year's. Speaking of movie traditions, it was our New Year's Eve tradition because it takes place on New Year's Eve. David Chappelle's in it, Martha Plimpton. It's really fun, but you can't like stream it.
All right, cool. I just found it on Google, so on Wikipedia. So I'm gonna document myself about it. I have never heard it. To be honest, never. It's a 1999. Yeah, you just said that right at the end of the.
Yeah. So
maybe
how
it did
is this movie not
expire.
available?
Maybe it had an expiration date. The century.
That's right. Limited.
It's ephemeral art.
December 31st, 1999. Puff, and it goes away.
It's gone.
Cool. All right. Well, Sean, is there anything that like an old, I don't know, like an old movie that you still have a tape, maybe even if you don't have a VHR player anymore? I do have that. That's why I'm asking.
Ah, boy. I have, I keep a lot of stuff. Some might call it hoarding. I call it collecting. But yeah, I have vinyl and tapes and CDs, and I've even kept a few of the devices around that allow those mediums to be experienced. But I don't know if I have a specific movie or not.
All right, let me ask you this, and we start diving into technology because it's something that we had an episode a while back. It wasn't Through the TechVine. It was Unusual Gathering when we got together with a bunch of friends like Chris Roberts and Rick McElroy and Diana. I think you've been on one of those too. And we were just like think about the future, the past, and the vintage technology. So yeah, connected to this, Sean and Diana, like why would you keep these things in technology? I mean, do you do it because a good memory? Do you think it's gonna grow in value? What is the thought to make you keep something without being a hoarder, of course?
I'm not a big keeper generally. If it's not in use or it's got family important sentimental value, I tend to be like, well, let's keep going. But I do love seeing their computer museums where like, oh yeah, I played with that when I was a teenager. I was using that one. So I like to see it when there are museums of this kind of keeping it. But I don't keep stuff for posterity's sake, basically. Not technology, at least. I mean,
are you teasing me about the BlackBerry stuff, Marco? Is that what
are you keeping a
saying
BlackBerry?
it without saying
I think it's all connected in my head because that post that I did, you commented, and then Andrew Brandt he wanted to talk about ham radios, and that's such
we're
great.
Gonna do that. We're gonna have an episode on ham radios.
That's right. I'm gonna be teasing about that, and I mentioned the joke of the gramophone, or yeah. So I guess it's in my head because of that. So go for it. Do you really have still a BlackBerry?
Well, the question isn't do I still have it? It's how many.
Is that do you still use it?
I don't still use it, and that was my response to your post. Is that it was, yes, I enjoyed the keyboard and that's about it. I think the experience beyond that was kind of crap. But what I did like about it was the service that I got. Now I got this phone through an employer, and it was early BYO, bring your own device supplier, I guess corporate owned, but given to me. I don't know what you'd call that, but anyway, it came with an unlimited global data service, which when traveling internationally, when we could do that at one point, was huge.
Yep.
Being able, now you couldn't do much with the phone because you couldn't watch videos or anything easily on that device, but by getting emails and and exchanging documents and things like that, all on unlimited with no caps on, if you reach this point, we're going to throttle you down to an uncomfortable level. But anyway, that's the one thing I do miss. Why I keep the phones. It was easier to just ditch it into a drawer than try to recycle or do something else with it. But and a bit of nostalgia there too. But beyond that, who knows why?
Yeah, I feel the same, but I think my parents do it for other reason, because they say we got room, so we'll just put everything in the garage. I know for a fact that when I go there is a drawer where there is my first Nokia phone. That was a brick. I think the battery lasted like maybe 3 hours or something like that. You had to pull out an antenna. I don't remember the serial number or the model, but it was, I think, was one of those next step from the luggage that you will carry that you see in the movies in the 80s. But it was kind of cool at the time. And I don't know. I wouldn't not kept it, but it's kind of cool when I see it. It just like trigger memories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but hey, everything is coming back. There is a band that I heard that a DJ was presenting I was driving around, and they said they sent him a tape of the new album. I don't remember the band, but
tape.
Yeah, and the guy's
like a cassette tape.
The cassette tape is like, this is great. Now I need to go buy a tape player. So, here in LA, you see a lot of vintage record store that they actually do refurbish old player for tapes, and it's kind of cool. I like it. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna buy one, but that's pretty cool. Nostalgia right there.
I sort of get the nostalgia for vinyl and vinyl coming back, but I got to say cassette tapes, because the biggest benefit of cassette tapes was that you could record the vinyl and it was more portable. You can't go walk in with your record player or running with it. But we have that now with it. So
Come on.
I'm struggling with why to bring back the
Don't you miss to have to get a pencil and stick it in the dents of the cassette and having to re-roll it because it got all messed up inside the tape, and you're like crossing your finger that your mix that you did is not.
It's funny. I was cruising around the internet looking at stuff, and I came across I think it was a workflow diagram, and the way it landed on the page, it had a plus on one side and a little like a hexagon on the other side, and just the way it landed on the page, it looked like a cassette tape. I was like, that looks like a cassette tape. I was like, that's kind of lame, but who cares?
Well, some people may not be able to have that memory because
it was art, and I'm going to forget it.
There you go. You're ephemeral.
That's right.
So my favorite with cassettes, like sometimes when the battery ran down, people would go, and I remember being in high school hanging out with my friend from Latvia who we were just listening to music in the courtyard of the school, and he was listening to that trio song, da, 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 you don't love me, I don't love you. And he was singing along to it. But as the cassette slowed down, he just slowed. He didn't go, oh, my battery's dying. So he just was going, da, da, da.
It just went from 78 to 45 to 33 RPM.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love these. I think we need to do another show that we talk about all technology, vintage, that it's coming back. I always love to talk about that. I think that's a sign of aging. That's a conversation for another day. Let's move into maybe what caught our attention nowadays. I see really weird nicknames on below the avatar. And so let's get it started, Diana. New year, same tradition.
All right. So my word actually doesn't have to do much with or anything with what I was going to talk about for tech, but I just thought it was such a cool word that I wanted to bring it in. So on Tuesday, let me get the exact time, at 1:52 a.m. on Tuesday this week. It was the perihelion moment, and our perihelion day was Tuesday. And that just means that as the world creates the ellipse orbit around the sun, that there's a moment when we're as close to the sun. We're 3 million miles closer to the sun at that moment than at our farthest point. And so that was this Tuesday at 1:52 a.m. And there's a name for that, and it's perihelion.
Very cool.
Diana brought the tradition to the show that I tried to get started at the very beginning.
Oh, there you go. Bring a word.
Bring a word.
But the tech I wanted to talk about is projection TV and what's going on with projection TV, because what we've had in the past is you have to get very far away from where you're projecting to. You often need to have a special screen for it. So you can get a really cool picture, but then you also have to have a big projector that's hanging suspended from the ceiling. And I love TV. I love big TV, but I hate the look of them. So I always kind of wish that you could just fold up the television when you're done and put it away. So projection TVs appeal to me because you could maybe move the screen up. And if you had a really fancy, I guess, system, you could then have the projector move up into the ceiling. But recently I've been pretty excited about a technology called ultra short throw. And with ultra short throw TV or UST, you're able to do that projection. You still do need to have a screen, a special screen, but you can get 4K resolution with only a few inches away from the screen. The screen can project, like 70 inches, 100 inches, like a really massive television. So if you had the wall space, you could now put an ultra short throw fairly close to that wall and be able to have a projection, which I have been thinking was really, it's like, what are they going to think of next technology? When I think about, how could we incorporate that into our house? And can we finally get rid of these big television screens, these big black mirrors that we all have? And then I read yesterday about Samsung, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to promote just them, but they're the ones that have come out with this tech. They've got something called the Freestyle, and it's this tiny projector that doesn't even run, you run it off of battery, and it's completely mobile, and you can just set it up anywhere. And they've corrected for a lot of things that make projection television difficult. Like if you put it on its side, it's smart enough to figure out, I got to straighten up this projection, so it's going to be straight for people. It's not ultra short throw, so you do have to get, if you want a 100-inch screen, you're going to have to get 8 to 9 feet away from the screen or from the wall. It also corrects, it doesn't need a special screen. But since it's so tiny, it's like basically looks like a radio mic. And then you can get this beautiful projection 9 feet away if you have enough space, and it color corrects. You can supposedly throw the image against a painted wall, and it will figure out and correct the colors so that you don't need a pure white wall. So I'm super excited. So it was out at CES this week. I don't think it's available to buy yet. I think they're just taking pre-orders, and I'm still trying to figure out, could you hook it up to something like a Roku? They do have all the Samsung apps, so you can stream through Samsung, but like what if you have Roku and you wanted to use that? I don't know what all the different tech details are, but that's pretty cool that something the size of a microphone can become your projector and give you a 100-inch television on a wall. And then when it's off, it's off.
Nice.
100-inch TV is pretty big.
Yeah.
And did you mention the resolution?
Yeah.
It can go 4K.
4K. Okay.
Wow.
I remember it was probably 20 years ago now, to date myself, but I was working with a client. We were doing a bunch of work all over Europe, and we were actually, I can't remember how many shops we went into looking for what you just described. And they had little cube projectors that you could buy, and none of them seemed to work well. They were always skewed, or like you said, weren't bright enough, or the colors are always wonky, or the resolution wasn't great on them either. But and the connectivity to the device was a big deal. This is Windows was the primary device in business at the time, and
I'm not an expert, but isn't the resolution always been the issue with the projection?
Yeah. I think
So
so.
4K projected on any surface, and you mentioned that it adapts to the color and everything. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Is that AI that does the adapting?
Of course.
It's smart tech for sure.
Who else? Like a little elf inside the machine.
It's nanotechnology. It's the tiny little projectionist that lives inside.
So let's talk about this, because I immediately see a use case here that I think could be really cool, especially where the swath of destruction took place a few weeks back with the tornadoes. I'm picturing a drone or something connecting or cruising around, looking at places, and having a nice big screen where a large group of people could be viewing the footage from the drone, looking for survivors, people and dogs and animals and pets and things, and perhaps even micro cameras looking inside wreckage to spot things, and having a big giant screen where many people can be looking at the same thing at the same time in the spot. It doesn't work if you have to have a special screen, of course, but I don't know. I was just thinking cool.
Yeah, the portability of it, the fact that you can do that in any given places.
Yep.
Like on a building wall, or that's.
No, I think you're right. That is interesting because when you're responding in a crisis, you're not going to necessarily be able to bring big TV screens with you or even big screens. But if it can project and be viewable on a number of different surfaces, I saw some review where they said, Samsung's wacky millennial focused projector, and I'm thinking, I don't think it's wacky. I'm definitely not millennial, and I'm super excited about it.
Wacky. I have a credit card. Where do I go?
I think that it is interesting, Sean. I think that there could be a lot of different things that it could be useful for beyond just watching Yellow Jackets on a really big screen.
I don't remember where I saw this, but I was looking at the CES, and there is like all this foldable technology where it started to try. I think Samsung again.
I have one. I have a foldy phone.
So you have a foldy phone, but there is also now the laptop. I saw that it fold himself. I think is another big brand, and I saw a TV that you can roll. So pretty much it's kind of like the the movie theater base and speaker. Like like a
the
long
TV screen rolls up into it. Yeah.
So the TV. You saw that. Yeah. So this is nothing to do with the projection. I think this is an actual LCD screen that just roll completely, and it just come out when you want it.
I saw an autonomous car that folds.
What? No, really? Yeah. So the TV screen is like a regular movie screen. It can retract and curl up.
It's like a regular TV.
Rolls up like a roll of toilet paper.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. They do solar panel now that you can fold and roll, and it's still retain the solar cells. So I assume we're going there. We're gonna roll everything. Yeah, the car.
Baby, roll it.
No more parking issues. You just shrink the car. Which in your pocket.
The other thing that I think I would like with the technology you're describing, because everything else that Marco's touching on here has some hardware technology screen display, which let's face it, in 2-3 years, 8K is not going to be enough, right? We need 16K or 32K or whatever the next is going to be. So
we're going to have to talk about that.
We're going to throw this rolling TV piece of crap into the junkyard and let it disintegrate over a couple centuries. So your technology, Diana, doesn't require a screen. Just throw it against the wall. Yeah. Right? So all of that waste goes away.
That's a good point.
And it sounds so futuristic to me that now I just in my head just came out, Men in Black, when they pull out the little pen and erase your memory. I'm kind of envisioning that could be your TV that you carry around. Yeah.
You don't They nebulized you, clearly.
Nice. You forgot. Yeah, of course. No, but that's the idea. I love that, Sean. So why you have all this thing? I mean, TV has been going smaller and smaller and thinner, and then all of a sudden, it's just in your hand. Very soon, it just be in your glasses.
Well, yeah, that's sort of right. That's the other way to go. Is you can make a very small projector that projects into a very wide screen, or everybody just puts on glasses and watches that way. I kind of like,
depending on where your eyes move and how you turn your head, you get a different view from the person sitting next to you or across the state from you.
How do you guys feel about that? Because I feel like one of the things I like doing about watching shows or movies with someone else or with a group is, those looks that you give each other when somebody does something crazy and you look over at each other and you're like, what? Together, but you don't say anything. You just say it with your eyes. And if we're all wearing our own glasses, how can we have that communication?
Well, I think you can already do that with the iOS system, where on what was the 15 that come out, 14, I don't know, I lost the number there, but you can sync watching a movie on your TV, on your Apple TV. You're watching it at the same times with your friend remotely, and I think you can talk to each other. I don't know if I'm pushing this to the extreme, but it's kind of like a shared experience for this. Of course, it's not the same than being sitting, but I get yelled all the time because I kind of talk during the movie and like, oh, I think this is what is going to happen. And I'm like, shut up. So maybe you don't want to watch movies with me unless you really enjoy guessing what is going to happen next. But yeah, that community, that social moment, that could go away.
Yeah, if you're all in the VR glasses, you can't look at each other and give exchange a glance or something like that.
Unless you can still see the person sitting next to you through
in
the
VR. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Now you're right. That would work.
Well, I think that's exactly where they want to go with this. Be at the concert, be at the movie together without being together, pretending to be dressed while you're in your underwear and on your couch. the next level of
how do they manage the first person, third person?
I don't know.
Looking at it versus being in it. I don't know.
We need to invite some expert in this kind of things, and what is possible in that. I get this email many times, and I haven't talked to them about the use of holograms for conference and just showing up on stage as an hologram. I think there is this company doing this already. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to know a little bit more about that. So that's the next level of virtual reality, I guess, an hologram, and then we go to Star Trek and Star Wars.
You need 300 feet of distance to actually view the hologram.
300.
I'm joking. Of course, I have no idea.
Projection,
Might be 350.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this year is going to be the year of a lot of these things. Maybe really getting to the next level and really see if people do care or not. So
here's a question.
That's a cool one.
CES is a big thing. A lot of new stuff either waits for or pushes hard for release around this time. Do we, I don't know if anybody pays attention or not, but do we see that as kind of like the driving force for a lot of new innovations? And will things kind of taper off through the rest of the year and we have to wait till 2023 for big news, big ticket items again?
I was thinking about that really quickly because, number one, I was very surprised that it actually is happening, considering everything has been virtual, and the Emmy and the World Economic Forum, our RSA conference, many other things, even Sundance Festival, it's going to be all virtual. So anyway, they decided to go on. I was reading an article this morning, very little people. Some they went because they already invested in the space expo and all of that. And I was wondering just that, Sean, what you asked, and my answer is no. I don't think there is that we have to wait until the big event to unveil this. I think you lose an opportunity to be the first on the market. So I don't know. I think nowadays that people just announce things when they're happening. I don't know if it's really that aha moment anymore.
Cancel CES. It's not needed.
Yeah, screw it.
I mean,
well, we were gonna
CES
go, right? So
we were gonna go actually.
and it's
last year. We talked about it. We didn't even discuss it this year.
no.
And it's really consumer oriented. So I think that it makes sense if you're trying to sell a product to people that you wait until they're all going to be collected and going, oh, what's going to happen? But we know even consumer stuff comes out throughout the year, right? Apple has a couple of events. And then I think a lot of the really cool technical, think about the breakthroughs we've been discussing, many of that over the previous year. Last year, a lot of them started in academia and with research projects, and then they drive forward innovation. So there's definitely innovation at CES, and like this freestyle thing, which I'm excited to actually get a look at in person someday. But I think there's innovation going on all the time, especially researchers are coming up with new ideas every day, right?
Yeah. And I think nowadays 1 year it's a light year compared with what it used to be, right? So I feel like you lose the opportunity to present something before the competitor, and I mean, you may lose an opportunity on the market. So
and take the hardware out of the equation, and with continuous development and integration, CDCI, you get it in, and you don't even know you have the new whiz bang thing.
It's just been updated automatically for you.
The phone now has 4D VR. You didn't even know it.
Oh yeah, I don't think we're honestly using, even 1/100th of the power of our phones nowadays.
Like our brains.
I have no idea what is in there, but back in the BlackBerry time,
just like your brain.
Exactly. But back on the BlackBerry, you know exactly what you could do and not do. It was
mostly what you couldn't do. Yeah.
Mostly what you could.
But you could email people for free from anywhere in the world, which was a good could do.
Exactly.
So was it really for free? You were paid.
No, it was free. Yeah, it used to be that.
So it was bundled in the cost of the device.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was email. I mean, so it was text-based email. I mean, we're not talking huge bandwidth here.
Exactly.
But it came with the BlackBerry. You got free email around the world.
I was actually playing last night with the music quality that you can get nowadays, both from Apple Music or other Tidal and other apps, and you get the loose recording that it's crazy. I mean, if you have the right headset and you can get high fidelity music, you're getting a song that goes from 3 megabytes to like 450 megabytes because you get all that uncompressed sound in it. And I was thinking just that, like, try to do like 20 years ago when you're on a dial-up, right? So we went from stretching everything, make it compressed so we could consume it, to now even the movie, right? We're streaming in 4K and showing it's 8K, 16K. And so is data not a commodity anymore, the streaming, that or is it still a cost that we need to factor in?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point where we've gotten much better at compression and we have bigger pipes thanks to things like 5G. But yeah, it's true. Does that mean that we just, it's as soon as we get a little bit more, we push and we want more? So I don't know, maybe if we've got 32K, is that a thing? I feel like that like, is that too much? Like, can we see inside people's pores at that point?
You have to.
I don't know.
For that, or your eyes crack.
I have a TV. It's 4K, right? But it's also 4 years old, I think, 3 years old, and I was kind of like during the Black Friday, like, should we get a bigger TV that is better? And we look at each other. We're like, I don't know. I really think it's really good what we have. Do I see the difference on a 8K? When is it you're going to draw the line that it doesn't really matter anymore? And I know, Diana, you may know this because you mentioned that you really like TV so much. So do you really see that big difference?
You do, but then, the question is, do we need to? I do have to say that when it gets to the point that I see, especially on older movies, when you can see people's pores, and I mean, nowadays they have makeup that really corrects for, and I think that they do some post correction too when you get close ups. But you watch older movies, and I mean, do I have to see it that inside of
the imperfection?
Yeah, I mean, they probably didn't. I don't think it was ever really intended that we were going to get that close with that high definition. So, but I suppose that as we get more definition, we'll do what we've done with the 4K and 8K, which is we just figure out how to make people look good, even when they're on that incredibly high definition.
Now we're going in a completely different territory.
But
altering people appearance.
That's right. Let's just apply that filter.
And do we need that magnification? Like, did you guys in science class, did they show you about the bugs that live on your eyelashes? They have like little territorial warfare on your eyelashes. And like, if you get big enough magnification, there's a whole world that's different.
Well, isn't that how they scare you in changing your mattress by showing you the bed bug? No,
I'm not sure. Maybe they were trying to scare us not to share makeup or something. I don't know why we had to look at the eyelash bugs, but do we want to see our movie stars eyelash bugs? Because I think at 32K we're probably at a resolution where we can magnify them.
Maybe a little too much.
Too much?
I don't know.
I don't think I need that either.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Sean, can I just bring quickly, because it's connected to this. So
go for it.
And then I'll leave you the space for your news. So I found on the MIT Technology Review, there was a list of the worst technology of 2021. Ooh. And I was curious to see that. So there is stuff that we actually talked about.
So you had to log in, giving your email and password to access the article.
No, I actually give them money because I support technology. The technology review a little bit. So one was that Alzheimer drug. I think we talked about it. That it kind of got given the okay for $56,400 per dose, and then it turned out that wasn't really much of an improvement, and people don't understand why FDA gave the approval to that. Then there was the Zillow house buying algorithm that Diana, you brought up. Yeah. And how the algorithm was kind of not considering, what was it, like the market fluctuation to telling them to buy and resell a house. So they took a $500 million write-off in loss. So, well, good for them. I guess they had it. And then another one, I don't know how it made it in the bad technology of 2021, but it's ransomware. Not sure if that's a technology, but maybe a conversation for another thing. Space tourism was one of the bad idea because, everybody going to space. And we talk a lot about that with the Virgin and the Blue Horizon and all of that. So there was a critic for that. But then the last one is the beauty filters. And that's why I wanted to step in and bring it up. So how, all these Instagram / Facebook / Meta, whatever you want to call it, it's still the same.
Are you trying to say you don't believe it when you see me walking around with stars and rainbows stuck to me?
Well, I think stars and rainbow are really cool. I actually got some apps that filters GIF, and because I want to do some NFTs, so get ready for that. But we're talking about the one that young teenagers, they actually resize the shape of their nose, the whole feature change, right? And connecting to how we're going to filter the TV stars and stuff like that. And that's pretty bad. That's, it make people look good on photos, but then what's the next step? You're going to do plastic surgery to look like the vision that you have of yourself. So I kind of want to mention that because I do agree that it's a bad technology. I think that one it's a bad technology, and I don't know how we're going to stop it. I don't think we can, but people need to be educated on it. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know when it sort of turned that somehow not looking perfect or showing signs of age suddenly became almost like a moral failing rather than just a reality. And look, some of us have really big pores, and some people have noses that are differently shaped than other people's noses. And that's the way that the world works. And guess what? We all age. But we really have with these filters and people extremely distorting how they look, it sets up this bar. And if you don't meet it, it's almost like, well, you're not taking care of yourself, or you're somehow not okay. There's something wrong with you. And I think that is really dangerous and depressing because, I mean, how we look is how we look. We shouldn't be walking around feeling terrible that we had a wrinkle or that, we've got like a...
And this is not just about aging. I mean, this is about the feature that you have when you're 13 years old. I mean, I wish I could go back
Thin
and
lips.
be 13 years old, but yeah. So
Yeah.
Sean, how do you look always so sharp?
What filter do you use?
The knife is sharp. No, I mean, this is a tough one. Because I don't know. I guess it depends, obviously, on what it's being used for, right? We talk a lot about virtual reality and augmented reality, so creating worlds that may look very similar, close to identical, but maybe more like we want that space to look like. So we're augmenting that already.
That's true.
So is it okay to kind of have a vision or a view or a curiosity to be a certain way than what we're initially created as? I don't know. That's all right. For me, it becomes a problem when we're trying to trick somebody by changing the appearance, or we start judging others because of the way they appear or don't appear. I think those two things, there may be others, but those are the first off the top of my mind that caused me to pause. But otherwise, in fun and games, I don't necessarily see a huge problem with it.
Well, as long as it's fun and games and you are aware of it. And
somebody gets an eye out. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And then that pencil that you use for rolling the tape, it gets in your eyes. That's no fun anymore.
It's true. Like, I mean, there's a big difference between putting, like bunny ears on your head and right. And that kind of filter and having fun with, oh, look, I'm a bunny and I have like cute bunny nose versus a young person feeling terrible about who they are because of their appearance, which is something that obviously that's happened for decades and decades. When I remember when I was in high school in the late 70s, early 80s, there were some women were getting nose jobs, in high school. So this stuff's been around. People have been concerned about their appearance, but I feel like it's really getting very concentrated and reaching everybody because now you can go online and change your nose. And so people feel like they're sort of more different, like there's something.
Well, especially when it doesn't even involve a decision of or the risk of surgery and the cost of surgery and do you really need it? This is stuff that you get for free on tons of apps nowadays. Yeah. So it really is a mass, it's a problem that get multiplied by social media.
And even some of the streaming apps, right? There's a couple of the video conferencing apps where sometimes I'm being recorded through one and the camera person on the other side will say, oh, could you just hit that touch up my appearance inside Zoom? And I'm like, okay.
That's right.
And you're like, thank you very much, asshole.
Are you saying I look tired today? You look worn down and run out.
Oh, God. Well, this is a conversation and I'm going to, the one I wanted to bring up in a podcast on its own is the the virtual influencers or the virtual models, because some company are starting to use those. Like they're pretty much artificially created avatars and characters that at that point you just make them do and look whatever they want. But then again, that's not a real person. So that's a conversation for another time. But I'm very intrigued by.
Is it not a real person?
Intrigued by that. Is
that AI art, not real art, Marco?
Well, that's another conversation as well. So when we touch to interaction and society, I'm gonna get excited about it. But I'm curious. You got 50 minutes to talk about loaded over.
We have 10 minutes, right?
Or overloaded.
Yeah, no, I think we've talked for 50 minutes.
There you go.
Yes,
it's going minutes. Up down that. Marco, not
I got the glass half full.
Right, now it's 51 minutes. I have. Look at this.
Hey, Diana, keep talking. Diana, keep talking. Keep eroding his time.
We just have to add time for Sean by letting the clock go up.
He's the one controlling the clock, so he can.
All right, so I'll do my best. It's a lengthy piece, so yeah. And I don't know that there's much answer in here. It's more of a thought provoking, and it's something I like to talk about anyway. So, Canadian couple, they had an electrical vehicle. They bought a new one. Their electrical charger got stolen, so they needed to buy a new device. They decided to move from a level 1 to a level 2, which level 2 evidently requires more load. So they had to upgrade their panel. And as the contractor was upgrading their panel, they realized that the source to the house wasn't going to hold load appropriately. So they had to dig a new line to the neighborhood source. And as that source was connected up, they basically said, "You're lucky you got in early. Because if 5 more neighbors do the same, that transformer is not going to hold up. And if this neighborhood goes all electrical vehicles, this region's power network is going to hit the crapper."
Yeah.
And the planet is going to explode,
right.
Ultimately.
Pretty much.
Because you're kind of like, okay.
That's a bit of a leap. But
let's see where it's going. No, it's like, expanding.
Right. And when this planet all has electrical cars.
We take off for the Wump world.
That's
right. And then the solar system started having. Sorry.
So my question is this dance between the desire to use more sustainable technologies that then overtax the current infrastructure, because in Canada, according to the stats in this article, they've already risen from 460 electrical vehicles back in 2011 to over 53,000 in 2020. And the government has a mandate that every new car sold by the year 2035 will be electric.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's estimated that 500,000 cars will be running around in Ontario and over half in British Columbia by 2030. So I look at this scenario of one household and the neighborhood, and I don't know how we can sustain a grid. Now that's Canada. I don't know if I presume the US and other parts of the world have similar challenges. One topic or idea presented in this article is to kind of distribute power. So most people charge at home, and that's because spots to charge are limited. So one idea is to make, what is it here? They say, I can't find the stat. I don't know, some large percentage, 45% or something like that, of parking spots will have built-in chargers. That's the idea. And that they would distribute charging stations throughout neighborhoods, presumably through through new infrastructure or something, so that it's not taxing the residential grid itself. Maybe there's new lines with new charging stations. So I'm gonna leave it at that, because I think power has always been a thing, and that's just cars. I mean, we're talking about televisions and headsets and more devices and more computers, and I don't know, to do this podcast, I'm running a few electrical devices just to make it work. There's more stuff coming, right? And powers, to me, is kind of the place where it all bottlenecks in the grand scheme of things. So I'm wondering that specifically to this article, how do we manage the dance between promoting the use of sustainable technologies and having the infrastructure prepared to handle that when the promotion actually works?
Yeah, it's interesting because in security, we're always looking at what are the dependencies of the interconnectedness, because failure to understand legacy constraints can lead to unexpected failures in the system in another area. So we're constantly trying to think holistically, if I do this, what's going to happen over there? And application programmers do this a lot too. It's like the butterfly effect. You change one part of the code, but it has some unexpected consequence in another part of the application or the functionality. So I think this is kind of that same thing, but really, really large. If we focus on gasoline for cars is bad, let's make all electric cars, without also thinking, well, what's the cost for the rare metals and the batteries? How do we dispose of the battery? How do we make the batteries? And how do we charge these cars? What's going to be the impact on the electrical grid? All of these things are so interconnected, but we're solving one problem without understanding its space within this complex system. So yeah, gas cars bad, get electrical, but that's, as you were pointing out, Sean, if in 2035, it's possible that Canada may not be able to have a grid that supports all of those electric cars, even if they spread them out. Hopefully they will, like with Y2K, right? We saw that coming early enough and steered everybody out of the skid there. and it wasn't as bad as it was, barely a big problem at all. But so maybe people are starting to kind of think about this. But I think if we just keep looking at solving problems atomically rather than as part of this very large complex system, especially with energy and energy use, that we're going to be in for some unpleasant surprises.
Yeah.
And I mean, so I moved from a place where everybody drove and most folks had EVs. And now I'm in a place where nobody drives pretty much, and there are no EVs because there's nowhere to charge it on the street. No parking garages, or no personal garages, and I haven't been in a public garage to see how many charging spots there are, but I can't imagine many. So I mean, even just that in big city type environments, how do we deal with it too?
So here, this is a big topic, but
big topic.
We always, when we try to look at the bad side of things, especially with energy, renewable energy, there is a lot that need to be rethink. And I feel like we went on the wrong path. And it's the same system of, you got a gas station, but then you're using the gas for when you're refilling the gas station. It's not that the gas station get the gas straight from the from the ground, right? I mean, you have this big truck that use gas.
Oil well in the back.
Exactly. They have this gas that they deliver there. And so there is always like how do you reach that famous net zero? I think that's the big question mark. So even in your case, the first thing that come in my mind is, well, if the whole neighborhood started putting solar panels and all of that, then you may have all the energy that you need. But the grid, what blow my mind right now with all the steps taken by many countries of giving incentive for electric cars and solar panel and all of that. But let's talk about electric cars. How is that all the gas stations that you have around the country right now. Why are they not jumping on turning that infrastructure that they have into be fast charging electric resources? Because why is
it
Tesla
fast enough charging? That's the question.
What do you mean?
Is it fast enough charging? Is it quick enough to?
Well, it's
does
getting
somebody want to
there.
sit 30 minutes at a gas station while they charge?
Well,
their
there's
next
people were
pedestrian?
talking about swapping batteries in 10 minutes or so.
yeah.
There are like faster charger that it's not what you can have at home, but if you get the, certain superpower charger, as you say, level 1, level 2, level 3, you may just be able to charge your car much faster. Maybe you charge it more often. So you go to the parking lot and you go to buy grocery and you charge in 10, 15, 20 minutes your car so that, you kind of keep it to a certain level. So I don't know. It's a cultural change, I think, that we look at.
It's a good point. If every time we stop at the grocery store, if there were chargers everywhere, stop anywhere, and it could go fast. Although those 5 minutes can really matter, because I was taking a Lyft once back in the day, taking a Lyft from Redmond to SeaTac, and it was an EV that the Lyft driver was driving, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you had to go to SeaTac," and he's like, "We have to pull over." And he had to charge the car for 10 minutes, which at that moment I had cut it a little bit close to get to the airport. So those 10 minutes they were nail biters.
No, I mean that's definitely the case.
It's funny. I was as you were telling your story about the radio there, the tape player slowing down and that doesn't happen with the cars. It just I think it just stops, right?
That's a good point. I don't. Just, you're out of juice.
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, now it's not a bad idea until the grid gets to where it needs to be to have an hybrid situation, but not an hybrid that is half and half. Actually, there are cars that you run completely EV for, let's say, 50, 100, whatever it is, miles, and then you still have a tank of gas.
You strap a Mophie to the top.
Well,
that's another good question. Why not having a solar panel on the car?
Yes, that's a tech. So like some of the tech that's being looked at is basically a skin that would go over the entire car. That would be photovoltaic, and also smart roads. So roads that could transfer energy to the car as the car that they absorb the sunlight and then can transfer the energy back. So yeah, I get it. I get worried that we won't develop solutions fast enough, but I also get really excited to see what gets developed. It depends on what day it is. Sometimes I'm like, we're going to solve all these problems and it's going to be so cool. And other times I'm like, oh, maybe not.
We are in that growing pain moment, I think now, where this reflection, like this thinking, Sean, that you brought up, it's like, I think it's important. It's designing.
That's kind of why I brought it
with net zero in mind instead of kind of security, security by design instead of patching it after.
And the whole system, thinking about the system and the dependencies. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I brought this, because there weren't any compelling elements in this article to say we have the answer. But to your point, Diana, there's a lot of things going on. So hopefully somebody listening may have some ideas or information perhaps they could share with us, and we can dig a little deeper into what some of those technologies are.
Yeah, and I guess this is a good time, Sean, as we're closing up.
My battery's running out.
My internet went out for a second there, but it then reconnected.
And we didn't realize it. You had a backup.
Resiliency.
Resiliency right there. No, if someone is an expert or knows an expert that somebody has a good opinion on all the stuff that we blab about, we'll love to have it as a guest on the show, and we can make an entire episode talking about that. I'll be very, very happy to do so. But apart from that, that was the first episode of the year. I'm really excited that we're still carrying this on and having fun. I hope the audience is enjoying it. I know some.
And if you're not, who cares?
if you're not,
we're still gonna do
listen
it.
to Joe
Just hang
Rogan.
out
I don't
every
know.
week, yeah.
Like it's your call. I'm not going to.
Nah,
So
I'm joking, of course. We appreciate everybody listening.
Yes.
Of course, those 2 people and my mom listening right now. Thank you very much.
My dogs are listening.
That's right.
Mine too. It was great. It was great to be on again, and episode number 31.
And you know what?
Woo.
Same time next week.
Absolutely.
Same time next week.
Yeah.
For sure.
The tech news that gets us excited or makes us think, at least, depending on the topic.
I'm thinking. Ergo sum.
Thinking. Right on. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Right. Happy 2022.
We're off and rolling. And with that, so I'm going to roll the tape.
Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Through the TechVine podcast. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.